there continues to be a lot of interest in potential conflicts of interest when it comes to Donald Trump's sprawling business empire. So far, the president-elect has done next to nothing to assuage those concerns, and in fact, in some respects, has only exacerbated them. Democrats are howling over an Argentina newspaper report that says that Trump used his congratulatory phone call with the Argentinian president, Mauricio Macri, to ask for help with a stalled construction project that will bear his branding in Buenos Aires. The spokesman for Macri denies that that ever happened, but it's hardly the first accusation that Trump might use his new power to boost his family's bottom line. Last week, in between administration job interviews, Trump met with 3 Indian commercial partners who are building a luxury Trump office building south of Mumbai and, according to reports, seem eager to capitalize on their newly valuable connections to the president in waiting. The Washington Post reported that 100 foreign diplomats attended a sales pitch about the Trump International Hotel in Washington last week, and some of them consider the opportunity to spend bigly at the hotel an easy way to flatter the incoming POTUS. Separately, a Washington Post analysis of Trump's business dealings found that at least 111 Trump-related companies have done or are doing business in 18 countries across South America, Asia, and the Middle East. None of what Trump has done to this point appears to be illegal, but it certainly raises suspicions that he could, if he wanted to, profit financially from his occupancy in the highest office in the land. If only someone had told the president-elect that he might want to be a little more careful about the appearance of conflicts of interest.
Obviously, my assets were significantly smaller than some other presidents or president-elects, but we made a decision to liquidate assets that might raise questions about how it would influence policy. When I met with the president-elect, I suggested to him that having a strong White House counsel that could provide clear guideposts and rules would benefit him and benefit his team because it would eliminate a lot of ambiguity.
So given Trump's history, he's unlikely to be as scrupulous as Obama is encouraging to be. But Mark, my question for you is, what do you think the tipping point is for Trump maybe, possibly, to start taking these concerns and criticisms seriously?
This is all so unnecessary and so bad. It's not the right way to start. I think it's going to take a lot for him to change his ways. I think he wants to get rich off of being president, and will do everything he can as long as some lawyer tells him it's okay. I think the 3 possible tipping points, one would be if somebody gets indicted.
Two would wait that long?
Two would be if a member of his family says this is hurting our brand.
Yeah.
But I think the most likely way, and hopefully the best way, is he hires a White House counsel who tells him, as a la the Trump University settlement, this stuff is just going to be a distraction and irritant and maybe worse. We got to put a stop to it and do what the Wall Street Journal editorial board said or something like it, and reorganize the company to make it as blind and as cut off from government as possible.
Wow. Well, that's a pretty, I believe you just said, let's go back to the top. I believe you just said you think it's clear that Trump intends to profiteer off of the presidency. Is that right?
I don't think it's why he ran, but I think he clearly...
That's what he intends to do now.
I think he thinks he can without being punished or...
With impunity. With impunity, you think he can get away? He thinks he can get away with this.
Yeah.
So I think that's obviously pretty outrageous, if true. I don't disagree that all the signs are horrible. And if the guy does not want to be enmeshed in scandal and constant accusations of this kind, that this is what he's doing, he must do then what seems like the only thing that is proper, which is what the Wall Street Journal editorial page that you cited a second ago, we haven't gone into a lot of detail about that, but it basically said you got to liquidate the company, you got to do an IPO, you got to melt it down, and then put it into a blind trust and keep your kids out of the position of being involved with managing that money and then being involved in the federal government.
You know now, when Trump will do that?
I know you think
you know when he'll do that?
I know when monkeys fly out of a place that I can't talk about on television, but it is the only solution. But
let's live in the world now. Let's live in the world now where he's not going to do that, because I don't think he's going to do that. What can we expect?
Again, if he's going to be a profiteering president, if that's what he's going to do openly and thinking he can do it with impunity, he's going to be mired in scandal throughout the entirety of his administration.
I bet he's looking at Lyndon Johnson and Harry Reid two guys who got much wealthier while they were in public office.
Yeah.
And he's like, everybody does this.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
Well, clearly, both of those analogies are there. It is true they both got wealthier, as have a lot of people while in office, but none of them were multi-billionaire occupants of the Oval Office who then used the presidency in a blatant way to try to profiteer.
I'm a little worried about this. I hope you made that clear.
Yes, I think you seem concerned.